Good evening, it's Peter from the community room. Here to do the Beatley Tone solo Beatles tag. I'm not sure how many other people have done this. I've only ever seen Beatley Tone's video, but I'm suitably inspired to try it out. So here we go, without any further ado. 9 questions, all related to Beatles solo recordings and such. Okay, so firstly, we have first solo Beatle LP owned, and I'm thinking it's going to be Bound on the Run. That's my 1973 Australian pressing. This one does have Hell on Wheels on it. Though Beatles haven't said something about the lyric sheet and how it. Now this one has got Hell on Wheels lyrics in the cover. So this is based on the American press. Okay. So that's Bound on the Run from 1973. It's pretty much, I'd say, my first solo Beatle LP that I bought with my own money. Okay. Question number 2. The latest Beatles solo album owned. Now, a little while ago I bought a heap of CDs from a young lady named Anne. Hello Anne. You know who you are if you're watching. And among those, I bought a couple of John Lennon solo CDs. One with the Live that I never owned. I got Men Love Avenue on vinyl, so I've got the CD. But I've never ever owned Live in New York City. So I took the opportunity to grab those. Got them rather cheaply actually, she was selling a heap of stuff at the time. Okay. Favourite solo album from each Beatle, alphabetically. George Harrison, self-titled, from 1979, features my favourite George solo track, Blow Away. John Lennon's Walls and Bridges, from 1975 or 74. Okay, a fun album. You can see that he's actually having fun making this. This was made during the lost weekend, the 18-month lost weekend that John had. So there's that. Paul McCartney with Linda, Ram. Remember my older brother had this album, grew to love it. Got my own copy eventually when I started working and get my own money. And probably the most obvious one, they've only actually got 3 Ringo albums, and this is my favourite of his, Ringo's album, which has a cast of thousands on it, including members of the band, his ex-Beatles solo mates, as well as Mark Bolan and Dr. John, and a whole heap of other people. There you go. Right, so my least favourite of these, in no particular order, again alphabetical, sorry. Dark Horse, George Harrison. I remember buying an Australian copy of this and I didn't like it, and actually, to my shame, I actually offloaded it. This is a UK press, so I've actually rectified that. There's been a bit of revisionist appraisal on the album. It is better than I remembered, but still not great, in my opinion. Sometime in New York City seems to be an obvious one among people. This one I came to rather late. Some of the song titles are a little bit problematic, probably in today's society. But yeah, it is what it is, this album. Very politically charged, you know, it's kind of pick a cause and we'll write a song about it. Pipes of Peace, Paul McCartney, Pipes of Peace. A follow-up to Tug of War. Not as strong. In fact, it's kind of reflected also in the archive box set, but it's actually only 3 discs. A fairly weak album, unfortunately, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think a lot about it. I don't play it much, if at all. Another 3 Ringo albums, Road Review. This one doesn't have the magnifying glass. It's an Australian press. this was kind of again more of the same formula as Ringo. He repeated it on Goodnight Vienna. This is kind of stretching it again. It's got Dose of Rock and Roll, which is a John Lennon song. There's a few, I think it's got more of the same from the previous two albums. Again, not an album I play a lot of. Okay. Show us your favourite Beatles solo book. Got to show a book that my son David got me, which actually I already had the book, and he didn't know that, and it's kind of problematic when when you buy me things. But this is Ringo's photograph book, and these are photographs that Ringo took during his time with the Beatles. I think particularly during the US tours and such. One of my favourite photographs is actually that one of these Beatle fans he actually saw in a car, but they were in a car. There was a photo taken many years later of these same people repeating the pose about 20, 30 years later, as much older. It's a wonderful book. The photographs are very, very on the mark so far as give you an eye into their world. As Ringo was another photographer back then. I think they, a couple of them were actually, but there's an example there as well. So yeah, Ringo's photograph book. As you said, I actually already had this book, but my son David bought it for me. No, I already had it, and I'm not going to refuse a second copy of that. Wonderful book. Okay. A solo Beatles item, which I'm going to show these. Now these are from the Paul McCartney tour from 2017 here in Australia. There is this bag, and in the bag came, like a special seat that my friends got me a ticket to McCartney 2017. There's a laminate, some sunglasses, and that bag as well. So that's a collectible item that came from the concert. I think it was in like a kind of a deluxe kind of seating at the time. Didn't feel deluxe very much, to be honest with you. Great show though, amazing show. Show us your favourite Beatles solo box set. Now, kind of torn because I've got a lot of Beatles box sets, right? I was going to show you the Beatles the George Harrison LP box that I've got, but it's a bit bulky and heavy to lift. It's kind of on the same par as these boxes over here. So I'm going to show you probably the biggest McCartney box I've got, which is the Wings Over America Monster. It's got all that in there. It is quite amazing. I could pull it out, but I mean, it's a real beast. This thing. It's a bit hard to manage in a way. Let me have a look. See what I can do here. Put that up there. Pull it out. It's a bit hard to pull out actually. I'll just pull out one of the books. This is actually photos by Linda McCartney for the book. I think they're from the various tours over America. The various shows around America, not various tours. This is from '76, at a time when the McCartney and Wings were conquering the world pretty much. So there's that. There's this thing here, which is the actual book, a book about the tour itself. That of course was a poster that came with Wings Over America. Quite a great book, that booklet. This actually has the discs inside them. There's some photos. It's like a tour guide type thing. There's a whole lot of bits and pieces in the things. I think once this series started off rather simply. Right, that's some of the things that got the tickets, that sort of thing. When the archive series started, it started off as a simple book format, which I preferred actually. That was the first one. But then, after a while, we started adding, the first three were like that. Then with RAM, I started adding the bells and whistles. And they got bigger and more complex as they went along. I'm glad they kept to the kind of the same format, but they also started becoming more expensive as a result. I kind of wish he'd stayed with the previous format, just the book with the CDs and whatever else, and yeah, whatever. But that's me. I'm complaining about it getting extra, so I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so next question. Sorry, my tablet is timed out. Give me a second. Alright, so there's that. Favourite live solo album. I'm going to go with Paul McCartney's Good Evening New York City. Now, this is kind of tied in with Billy Joel. Now, Billy Joel, the year before, played live at Shea Stadium. Shea Stadium became Citi Field. It was torn down, and Billy played the last concert there, and McCartney actually appeared at the show as a surprise guest. Apparently the logistics of getting him there was quite fun. Like that, the show, the DVD that came, was actually a documentary about the history of the stadium, and also about that whole show, the whole thing. That's really quite good too. But this is 2 CD and 2 DVD. This is quite a great show. There's a booklet here. So yeah, 2 CDs, 2 DVDs. This is from 2009. The Billy Joel concert was 2008. Quite a great show. Very enjoyable to watch. Yeah, so that one. And like question number 9, 3 non-LP singles. And I've gone 3 McCartneys because they're the only ones I think I have that are non-LP. Most of the other Beatles 45, solo Beatles 45s have got tracks from LPs. So Live and Let Die. That was the 43rd single I ever bought with my own money. That's what that number represents. Is that one? Live and Let Die with I Lie Around. Another non-LP track was Junior's Farm, which is from about a year later. And I think he also played this one in concert recently, which was great. I'm glad he did actually. I think it's a track he's actually pulled out and playing a fair bit now. That's got Sally G on the back. This is from 74. These are Australian presses. And from 79 we have Good Night Tonight. And it's back with Daytime Nighttime Suffering, which is quite a really good B-side as well on the Parlophone label. So there you have it. There's my take on the Beatles solo tag. I hope you enjoyed that. Tone, I hope that served the bill for you, okay? So, if you've got a channel, have a go at it. If you're a Beatles fan, have a go at it. It's a fun thing to do. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe here if you like what you see. And thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye, wherever you are in the world. Whether it be good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever. Good night, guys.